What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name is Kevin, and we're here with the Monday Weekly Market Watch, where we go over Lorcana news, meta trends, and card prices. We're going to start off today with this post from the official Disney Lorcana Twitter, and it's looking like we have some announcements coming next week. Next Tuesday on May 6th, we're going to have another live announcement. Disney Lorcana has done this before in the past, and this is usually how they announce future details about the game, like when they announced the Disney Lorcana challenges, or when they announced the new sets coming out, aka Reign of Jafar slash the Fabled set that's coming out soon. So that this is gonna happen May 6th, 9 a.m. Pacific time, announcements at 10 a.m. So very excited to see this. I know there's a lot of speculation already on the internet of what people think is gonna go down during this live stream. In fact, here we have some folks guessing on Facebook what it could be from DKP's post over here. Some people saying my guess is the sideboard. Some people saying online client maybe. What I think DLCs, new set, worlds. What I hope online client. Ooh, I gotta like that one. I definitely like that one myself. But yeah, now I want to ask you guys, what do you think we're gonna see in this announcement over here that we're gonna be getting in next week, basically? What I would like to see is finally an announcement for when the World Tournament is going to be. I know a lot of us are excited for that. I want to plan that out. Very important. Obviously, what I want would be an online client. I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. I'm also expecting some tournament announcements, some type of tournament announcements, whether or not it's like the DLCs specifically, or whether it's something that they're working on that's going to be maybe different, smaller than the DLCs. Obviously, I'm gonna be super excited for any card reveals that happen that day. They're gonna talk about the Reign of Jafar, right? Because Reign of Jafar launches the end of May, so we're pretty close to that. That's the next set. That's gonna be set 8 in the Disney Lorcana chapter series, which is really cool. And then Fabled comes out after that, so maybe they'll even go as far as to announce the next set after Fabled, set 10. So that'd be really cool. But what do you guys think below? Some people say rotation also, or more ban lists information. I want to know what you guys think of all of this and more. I need to hear your speculation below down in the comments. Please leave that down below. And while you're at it, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button because it does support the channel, especially those who are currently supporting through Patreon, YouTube memberships. I really appreciate you guys. You'll see the names at the end of the video like always. But aside from this news that we have these announcements coming to us this week, we have some awesome tournament results that happened this weekend. A variety of decks are doing well at these big tournaments, and it's really exciting to see after a post ban list where prior to this it was nothing but Sapphire in the dominating meta, and now it feels like we're just seeing a lot more breathing room for other meta decks. So we have decks like Emerald Steel. This is a first place list from Pierre Mark over here at the Randolph Rosemont 2K tournament. Pretty awesome. I think this tournament was like 40 some players. Emerald Steel with Pete the Space Pirate, Diablos. We have Beast Tragic Hero as well. We're gonna take a look at some of these cards in the market on TCG Player as we go on. We have a Blurple deck also from this same tournament. Sorry, not Blurple. Yellow Purple Perpunzel is what they call it. Xavier Prava, shout out you for getting second place at this 2K tournament with a Yellow Purple deck that is not hyper aggro. We've seen this before this format, which is really cool. And I really like the addition of the evasive meta that we're entering. You know what I mean? We have so many evasive characters: Peter Pan Shadow, Genie, Iago, and Elsa the Fifth Spirit in this deck. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about these decks in the Market Watch. Shane Downey, shout out Shane Downey and Zach Stone for getting top cut at their tournaments that they were playing, the Red Saber Grand Prix, and same thing with Zach Stone, top 8 also at the Red Saber Grand Prix with Amber Steel and Ruby Sapphire. So shout out Shane Downey and Zach Stone, members of Team Goons, on doing so well this weekend at their tournaments. We have a third place Blurple list here from Sharp Gaming's Lucky Lorcana SmackDown tournament, which was huge news because this one had like 90 some players, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And Zansayed got first place with Purple Steel Wheel Jafar. And as Zansayed is known for, one of the big players, the best players in the Lorcana space. Every time this happens, every time he does well at a big tournament and wins the big tournament, we see the prices just move around for some of these cards. Prices just shooting up, right? So, yeah, Purple Steel Jafar Wheel is the first place list that Zan used this weekend, and we're gonna go over some of the card prices from his lists and all the other lists we've seen to kind of really give you a taste of what the meta is doing to the market. Check this out. Starting off with Jafar Striking Illusionist, the market price is $118, right? And the most recent sales are $150, though, not necessarily reflecting that market price. So it's always important to look at the most recent sales. Today we have 3 of them 3 copies selling for $150. Yesterday we have sales at 139, 130, 129. So from 130 to 150 today, lowest verified is 125 with $5 shipping. You can get that from Nanoka TCG. That's a pretty good deal in my opinion when the recent sales are 150. But after that, we have listings from Mr. Man Collects for 160, 165 by CK Card Shop, and 165 by Kaboom. Those are going to be our lowest verifieds for the Jafari Striking Illusionist, which is played in that purple steel deck that we just looked at. And the combo, I imagine, is you gain lore as you move on through the game in the early game with your Smees, your Calhouns, your steel cards that let you quest for 2. I was not even playing Calhoun actually. Your Smees, your Cobras and whatnot, your Genies, and then towards the end of the game, you can shift this Jafar and sing Whole New World. You draw 7 cards, you gain 7 lore. That's pretty good in my opinion. Zan was also playing the Robin Hood Champion of Sherwood in his deck list. These enchanteds are pretty cheap right now. They've been as high as 200 before in the past. It's been a while since they've been that high. They're a little bit closer to 175, 150 is what they were at last couple weeks ago. And today, lowest verified is 145 by the printed meeple over here. But yeah, in his post, he swore that he broke the format, so this is why I'm going over the Robin Hood, because he was playing the Robin Hood shift package in that deck list, and that's really interesting to see. But they're still only about $145, less than $150, which is where they've been at the last couple of weeks. Some of these blue lists, some of these sapphire lists were playing Hades' Blurple deck. A lot of these Blurple decks out here are playing Hades' Infernal Schemer. And last time we checked this card out on Friday, it was selling for as high as $25. Today, they're still pretty close to that price, right? Q's Card Emporium, $21.46 with $2 shipping. Then we have the Vend Corp over here, $23.45 for your non-foil Hades Infernal Schemers. And cold foils, these are shooting up in price. Oh my goodness, check this out. There's only 5 listings left, kind of getting bought out. There's not too many available. It's a first chapter cold foil, right? Lowest verified is $55, followed by the next verified seller is going to be Zig's Card House for $64. So we got Booze Cards, shout out you guys, some real foos over here, $55, and then Zig's Card House $64. Then Little Root Games $82.50. So these prices are kind of everywhere in between some non-verified sellers with similar prices. So I don't know, man, get them while they're hot. It just feels like this Hades is everywhere, this format. Blurple's such a powerful card, and these were selling for as low as $40, $35, $40. Look at this. On the 19th, we have some selling for $28, $32. Then they start shooting up to $40 over this past week, and this weekend on the 25th through 26th, all the $45 ones have sold out. So if you didn't get them for $45, you missed out, man. You gotta pay at least $50 now, is what it's looking like for the cold foil Hades. By the way, we forgot to mention that the Jafar Striking Illusionist also comes in a regular legendary. You don't need the enchanted Jafar Striking Illusionist, but the market price for this card just shooting up this weekend as well. Look at this graph right here. This is the Zan Syed effect, as I like to say. These were $5, boom, just shooting up to as high as $15 now for getting first place with Amethyst Steel Jafar Wheel. We have Slick Sales here, $15.95. Yes, 4 of them are ready to go. Chaotic Collect, $15. This is why I wait sometimes to film these market watch videos, because some of these sales today, man, look how many sales have been happening today alone. 3 of them for $5.95, 1 for $14, 3 for $12, 1 for $15. This is a $15 legendary now. And cold foils are getting expensive. Oh my goodness, look at this, $25 today. Lowest verified by Q's Card Emporium. It's $24 actually with $2 shipping. We have a non-verified seller at $25. Owl Archive, shout out them. Yellow Door has them for $29.34. That's pretty crazy. I actually had some yesterday in my binder, and I vend at Ninja Exchange in Carlsbad in the North San Diego County, and one of the homies was picking out some foils, and had the Jafars there, the foil Jafars, and I was pricing them out at $20, and I don't feel bad for that now because he got them, and they're basically $30 today. Some of these recent sales backing up that price. $25, $28 right here is the highest that someone has paid today. So I think they'll hit like $30 and then kind of bounce off and kind of stick around this $20, $25 range. That's crazy. That's really nice to see. That's the Zan Syed effect right there. He was also playing this card in his deck, the Lamp. This is a very important card I think to talk about right now. This card has 2 effects, right? You banish it if you have a character named Jafar, you draw 2 cards. If you have a character named Genie, then you can bounce a character with 4 cost or less to the hand. So this is pretty cool because if you have both Jafar and Genie on the board, then you can use both effects actually. So turn 2 you play the lamp, turn 3 you can play one of your Jafar characters, turn 4 you can play your Genie and then trigger this ability that same turn. Boom, you return a character to the opponent's hand and you get to draw 2 cards. It's kind of a big tempo swing, I think, which is really cool, and you just drawing cards, which is always nice if you already have the Strike and Illusionist in play. And bouncing a character to the opponent's hand will possibly really help you keep your Jafar alive before it gets banished for whatever reason, to ensure that you can shift onto it. So that's probably really important too. But yeah, as you can see from the list, Zanzayed did play 4 copies of this card, and this card just going up in price now. Lowest verified today is going to be $1.63, but the shipping costs are $5. So adding that together, you're going to pay around $6 each is what it's looking like. But we do see some sales happening at $3.40. Somebody paid $5 each for a playset, you know, and that's not the first time. Another one for $5, another one for $4.99. So easy. It's easy to say. It's safe to say that the lamp cold foil, this is a cold foil by the way, is now at least a $5 cold foil, and there's only 5 left. So yeah, very interesting weekend for Jafar enjoyers. Shout out everyone who's been playing Jafar. I know I have a lot of friends who have been making been trying to make the Jafar wheel deck work for a minute. So there you go. Zanzayed broke the meta for you guys. You guys can copy that deck list. I'll leave the list for all these decks in the description down below, by the way. That way you guys can check them out yourself. Want to talk about Sisu Empowered Sibling? These are kind of coming down in price from the Ursula Return set. It's kind of been going down in price. These were around $20, almost more than $20, and this weekend they just kind of took a little bit of a dive. Lowest verified is $17.50, shipping included by Medify Emporium. Then Tabletop Tournament $17.75, and these were confidently selling for way more, I think. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like these were selling for at least $19 to $20. A lot of sales in the $20 range. I feel like a couple of weeks ago, even more than $18. So to kind of see them at 17, I was a little shocked, you know. So those are going down just a little bit. Maybe you can try and scoop those up for less than 20 if you can, if you find them. Modern Tabletop here has cold foils for $29, a little bit less than $30 right there for your cold foil Sisus, which does come in as an enchanted. And we did see that card played in some of these Ruby Sapphire deck lists that we were going over. Diablo still a very popular card in the meta, not $45 like the way people were listing it and pricing it out the weekend of the ban list. Still a little bit more expensive than it was before though. It's getting a little bit closer to $30 though as it settles. Intense Storm TCG has them for $25.99. Then ANS Lorcana has them for $27.50 right here. So about $27 for your non-foil Diablos. A little bit less than $30 is where they settled at. Cold foils though are pretty poppin' still. There's only a couple listings, about 40. Lowest verified is $41, which is nice to see, especially when there's a legendary that has an enchanted out, you know. Normally those are only a little bit more expensive. So right now they're still pretty pricey. If I had cold foil Diablos, I feel like I don't want to get rid of them because we've seen what happens with some of these non-enchanted, with some of these enchanted cards that have legendaries. The legendary cold foil tends to not be as expensive as it could be, in my opinion. Yeah, they end up being like $5 more than the regular version, the non-foil version. So right now it's still like $15 more. Iago the Spectral Parrot, a very popular card in your Amethyst decks today. These are being listed at $6 still. This is a card from the starter deck. The lowest verified is TC Obsessed for $5.99. Market price is $5. So at least $5 if you guys have these in your trade binder. Maybe you guys bought some starter decks this format and you guys have this card lying around. It's a pretty expensive card. Cold foils are $12 still, and you get the cold foil from the starter deck. This is a great deal. This is a great deal. The starter decks are $15.99 MSRP at Target. You buy one of those, you get a $12 cold foil with a pack. That's the value. That's the value right there, in my opinion. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Treasures of Vaal, lowest verified today. Shout out you for those deals. Daisy Duck, very important. And then these amber decks we were looking at, lowest verified today is going to be $8.30 for a light plate and $9 shipping included for a near mint by Astral Trading LLC. Daisy Duck is a $9 super rare. Very, very important card in the meta. And cold foils are still around $15. $14.60 by GGAZ. Shout out you guys for the lowest verified price today on Daisy Duck. So once again, shout out Zach Stone. We did see that he finished in top 8 of his tournament this weekend at the Red Saber Cyber Grand Prix, and he was playing Amber Steel, and he was using the Aerial Sonic Warrior, and I've been seeing a lot of people use Aerial Sonic Warrior in their Amber Steel decks. The Enchanted Rare isn't moving at all. It hasn't really done anything, but the cold foils are going up in price a little bit. Check that out. These were around $2, and today the market price is $3, and they're going up more and more every day. Lowest verified today is going to be Guardians of Yuna, 242 with $3.90 shipping. But we're looking to look at MGNE over here. They have like 7,000 plus sales, and they have it listed at $6.50 for our lowest verified. So very important to know. I believe this is like a $5 cold foil now at least. I mean, $6 if you have them in your trade binder. So if you got them while they were cheap, congrats. It's a pretty good come up right now. And another really good one is Let It Go. These cold foils sell for around $10 now. The market price is $8.21, but lowest verified right here is going to be $11.90 for a near mint cold foil Let It Go by Goat Card Shop. That is very close to $12. I would at least say $11 each for your cold foil Let It Goes, which we're seeing a lot in the Blurple decks, the Sapphire Ruby decks, etc. So it's a very important card in this meta too right now. But that's going to be enough for our meta portion of this video. For the collectors, let's go ahead and take a step into the PSA section of the wonderful Lorcana cards that I've been listed and selling. We're going to go over some PSA 10 graded cards that I've been able to filter out through the 130-point website. Starting off with this Enchanted Elsa from the first chapter. We have a PSA 10 selling today for $1,325. I believe the last one we saw, I'm going to start keeping track of this actually. So this one was on April 28th, and this will be the official start of the Elsa tracker, because I think the last one we saw was around $1,350, something like that. So they're confidently selling for $1,300 in a PSA 10, which is pretty okay to see. You know, it's still more than $1,000 if you have a PSA 10 Elsa. It's not near 2,000, which I know it has been before. That was kind of close to the all-time high, but hey, they're still moving. They're still moving, which is good. This is a really cool one. We have a PSA 10 Rockstar Stitch. This is the Set Champs promo prize card from the first Set Champs that Lorcana ever had, and a PSA 10 selling for $999. That's $1 away from $1,000. That's an $1,000 PSA 10. That's really cool. That is super cool right there. I know a lot of people love Stitch. There's a lot of collectability in Stitch cards. I'm surprised there hasn't been a Stitch prize card for the DLCs or for Nationals or something. That'd be so awesome. That would sell for so much. Here's a really fun one. We have the D23 Expo First Edition Maleficent Monstrous Dragon selling for a whopping $2,125. A PSA 10 First Edition Lorcana card. There's not that many First Ed Lorcana cards. It's all the 7 D23 cards. And yeah, so Maleficent Monstrous Dragon was one of them. Very interesting. 38 bids. A lot of bids in my opinion. 38 people bid on this card, and it ended up selling for $2,125. Very awesome to see. And look, there's even another Rockstar Stitch that sold for $955. So from $950 to $1,000 basically, from Sunday to Monday on these recent PSA 10 Rockstar Stitches. That's interesting. Oh wow, there's another one. It's three Rockstar Stitches, 3 PSA 10 Rockstar Stitches selling over this weekend, all for a little bit less than $1,000. My Lorcana Goons. So if you have your Rockstar Stitches from your very first Set Champs, maybe consider grading them. I think that's pretty good. But that's going to be all for this Market Watch, my Lorcana Goons. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the end of this video. If you like this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're a Lorcana Goon, because that does support the channel. More importantly, let me know what you think below. We're going to get as news on the May 6th announcement. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. Maybe we can live stream it and have a little watch party or something on YouTube or Twitch. That'd be really fun. But, you know, like I said, I think they're going to announce something with Worlds, because everyone's asking for the World Tournament. I'm hoping that they give us some more information about the new tournaments schedule that's coming up. But obviously we're gonna get card reveals. I'm sure we're gonna get some information about the new set, and then the big copium for me is the online client. So let me know what you guys are looking forward to in the comments down below. I'm super excited. We're gonna talk about this on Friday. Stay tuned to the other videos that you see on the channel and the live streams as well. But until then, remember to stay tuned to Lorcana Goons, and we'll see you guys next time.